everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the reality show Girls.
Welcome back. It's the holiday season. And Santa Claus is coming round.
Hey,
nothing never
shooting big and not the chimney. Chestnuts roasting. Sorry.
Chestnuts roasting.
I feel like that would be a good mix. They should have done that in Glee.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, and I think it's already been done.
Probably.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Lulu's really crazy lately.
You can't see her, but Lulu's down here. Yeah, you can't
see her. She's been terrorizing me. She wakes me up at 3 a.m. every night.
We're going puts through her something. Fangs inside of my hands.
Yeah, we're going through something. But anyways, it's the holiday season. We're not even really decked out in any.
No.
You know what?
We got our Christmas tree up.
We have a Christmas. I wish you could see the tree.
I know.
This is all you get. But we do have a nice tree up. Lulu is the star of the tree. Her face in a penguin. It's really cute.
That
but
probably makes no sense to you.
I think we dressed up last time, so we get a free pass.
Cool down this week.
Listen, that one episode took me out so much so that I was ill afterwards.
Yeah,
I feel like that's when I started to feel ill.
Glinda makes you ill?
Yes.
Glinda makes you sick?
Glinda.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You hate Glinda.
No. Oh my God. Don't cancel me. I love Glinda. But yeah, so anyways, before we get started, shall we do some housekeeping?
Housekeeping. If you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching this podcast, that means you like us, right? Well, you better.
Okay, southern accent coming in.
No, just kidding. So that means you should like, comment, subscribe, share everything you know about us. Share the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're on Spotify, we're on Amazon Music, we're on Apple Music. We're everywhere, you guys, and we want to expand the brand, and we believe in you. Just leave a comment down below.
Even you, Kevin.
What's your favorite Christmas or holiday tradition? I shouldn't just, slice it down to Christmas. There's more than that out there.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Hanukkah.
Kwanzaa. Chinese New Year is on its way.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Let us know. And yeah, support the pod. Thanks so much. So what are we getting into today?
You want to go over the itinerary with them?
Yeah, let's go over the itinerary. We're going to talk about a few life updates, a few dates that have occurred. Oh, God. And then we're going to get into some reality TV. I know I thought we were going to have like a break from it, but actually it just keeps rolling. It just does not stop, you guys, because the Ultimatum is out and we've watched up to episode 8. We're pretty much caught up. Next episode, or the final 2 episodes come out.
What can we say? We love Nick and Vanessa Lachey.
God, they will not leave us alone. Yeah, we're going to go over all that. And I also really want to talk about Love Island Australia. I was hating on it before, but it got good, guys. It got good.
It got good.
And it's literally like the finale's airing on Monday.
Wow.
So they keep it short and sweet with Australia.
They do keep it short.
Which is great. That's all I need.
Same with, actually... No, I think US was the correct amount.
US was long, but not as long as UK. UK is the longest. UK
is like literally
unless it's the winter. The winter season is a little shorter, but that's about it.
I feel like Love Island UK is so long that it's like it's.
I mean, it's like I think it's like 2 months.
It's like so long.
It's like 60 episodes. It's crazy, and it's every single day.
And then we watch like things like the Ultimatum, and it's like in 2 weeks you have to decide if you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life. I'm like, oh my God. They don't even have that in Love Island.
I mean, I guess not the rest of your life, but
yeah,
it's basically the same
thing.
Their
thing is a lot more low stakes.
Truly.
But anyways, yeah we're going to be talking about those 2 things. Someone sent me that they were, Spotify Wrapped came out.
Yeah.
And I love this time of year, kind of for the fact of like, we're wrapping things up on 2024 and we're going into the new year. And the Spotify Wrapped is really something that is kind of taken over Like, if you don't have Spotify,
yeah.
I'm so sorry. Like, you were literally like so missing out. Like,
Apple Music is kind of crazy. I'm judging you a bit, but honestly, I kind of like their Wrapped more than Spotify's this year. I think I like the way that they
Apple
broke it
Music
down
is
more.
trying so hard, but like Spotify's better.
Like Spotify kind of like cut some corners this year on our Spotify Wrapped.
A little bit.
Because I liked Apple Music would show you like every single month who your top artist was, what your and stuff like that. Like I kind of wanted
Apple
it.
Music?
No, I just saw other people's stories on Instagram of it, and I was like, oh, I want that.
I had nobody posts. I mean, do not follow.
Our number one listener, Kevin, has Apple Music. So
Kevin,
you weren't paying attention to his stories?
Oh,
ooh. I'm just kidding.
I probably just didn't see it.
She tapped right through. She tapped right through. She said, Apple Music. Goodbye.
Or I probably just didn't register in my head. But yeah, my top artist, obviously Ariana Grande, and then all my top songs were all from Eternal Sunshine. That's called fucking crazy.
Number one fan,
like literally.
Yeah,
I'm about it.
My top artist was Lizzie McAlpine again, and I don't know how. Her latest album wasn't that amazing to me. It was very chill.
Yeah.
Not as good as her previous one, so I don't know how that happened. I thought, and like, I don't know how to say her name. I should know because she's one of my top artists. Laufey. It's not Laufey, but I read it. When I see it, I just see Laufey.
We always say Laufey.
But it's Icelandic and it's like Laufey or something. It's
like definitely something different, but I've been saying Laufey this whole time.
And I will continue to say Laufey, okay? And she's okay with it.
And she's fine with it, I think.
Yeah.
Probably not.
But yeah. I'm trying to think who Ari did make it in my top 5.
We're happy to hear
that's never happened before.
Welcome.
But her album this year was great. So
welcome. We embrace you with open arms. I had Ari, and then it was, I think my number 2 was Drake.
Mm-hmm.
And then
canceled.
I know. Yeah, I know. I'm not canceled.
I don't know anything.
Then there was like Usher, Beyonce, and then Kendrick, something like that. Which is like probably about right. But also you have to think about it like as a fitness instructor, like there's some like Yes and being my number 2 makes sense because I play it. It's one of the more upbeat songs that I get to play in class. So that like made sense. But I don't know if I listen to Yes and like by myself in the on the train.
I did like in January every single day.
Yeah, true. That's right.
But that was the one single that was out.
Yeah, that was all we had. So we were living off of that. So I'm thinking that, but The Boy Is Mine was all the way up there. Like I listened to that song so many times, like not only on my own, but also in class because it was like more upbeat. So, that's why it was up there.
Birds of a Feather. That was up
Birds
there.
of a Feather was way up there.
What
too.
A track.
What a good track.
Such a good song.
It's such a good song. And the thing is, I play it in class like all the time, and I will do it in every single way. Like sometimes it's like a recovery track, sometimes like we're work, and like I just love it.
Like sometimes you can use it in a sad fashion, you can use it in a happy fashion, you can use it like in a nostalgic fashion.
It's just so good.
Any moment in time, it works.
Great
job, Billy.
Billy, we just love that song. Like I think it's her best song she's ever put out.
That's kind of crazy to say.
I think it is.
She has some good songs.
I know she does, but like I just really am vibing with the Birds of a Feather.
It's really good. It's really so good. Just something about the way you feel like you're being like that meme of SpongeBob lifting in the air with the headphones on. Yeah, that's what that does every time.
That and No One Mourns the Wicked. I'm up in the air. I'm spinning. I'm like that Barbie. Remember those Barbies?
Yes, I love that thing.
The Barbies that spin in the air. That's me.
You know the one that went to the fire?
And that's me too. The one in the fire. That's specifically me.
Straight to the fire.
Yeah. But
I don't remember what else.
Yeah, we got like a week left in New York, and then we're both going to our back home. Actually, home for me. I'm not going to Charleston. I'm going to Atlanta. And you're going back to the Dirty Myrtle.
I'm so excited. I even changed my flight today, so I can have an extra day at home. I'm so happy.
Nice. Yeah, I'm spending like 5 days in Atlanta, which is like honestly a little too much. But you do what you gotta do. And I'm not really like, I'm looking forward to the fact that I'm like not working, and I want to see some friends. The Demas dinner goes so hard. Like we're about to eat so much. Yeah, we do this. It's called Demas dinner, and like all the Greeks come. Like everyone just comes, as in my friends, which is actually not that many people. But then there are families, so it's kind of a lot of people.
And their families. Wow.
Yep.
That's nice.
Sometimes it's just the kids. By the kids, I mean we're all adults now, but it's,
You're still kids.
But we're still kids.
How long do we stay kids for?
Forever.
Oh my God.
Forever. But let's dial it back. Let's give the people a recap, because listen, Whitney Daniels went on a date.
I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, you guys. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. That could be like our little subject for today.
Oh, sure. You want to pose a subject to the crowd?
Yeah. So you sent me a TikTok.
Yes. Oh, sure.
And I think it's
I send you 1,000 TikToks a day, but sure.
You do. And I get overwhelmed.
And I will continue to do it.
It's okay. Kevin does too. I have to take like 1 to 2 business days to get back to you now.
Kevin has me down bad right now with the TikToks.
I'm taking a break from TikTok. Look at me. I am not full of brain rot all the time. Anyway.
Yes, queen.
So you sent me a TikTok, and I think it explains my journey with like online dating and why it just doesn't work for me. But in the moment, I think it is working. Because this girl just basically explained, like, people who are like type A basically don't mean to, but we basically we go into a date as if it's like a job interview, and we have to be at our absolute best, at our peak for these people. Yeah. But we're like, in a way, kind of people pleasing to do whatever to make it seem like we're like, you should hire me, even though I don't really need the job. I mean, I want the job, but I don't. I need the job. I don't want the job.
It's like we look back at it and it was like, was I really even into him?
That's like, basically what happened.
I've been posing that question to myself a lot lately. Like, why am I getting bent over backwards? Am I even like attracted?
Yeah.
Like, am I even vibing?
So let me get into this. I wonder if he found the podcast, because it was funny
and
how
if you did, welcome. Welcome, sir.
Welcome. Here is your full review.
Mr. Bombastic, no. I'm so happy to have you on the podcast.
God, we're not even there yet. Okay.
Well, his name is Mr. Bombastic.
That's his nickname. I give nicknames to every person I go out with.
Because we don't have lives.
Every person I have a crush on. You all have names, okay?
Every person has a name. Wait, can I just say this really quick? There's this guy that Whitney kind of likes. We like downplaying it. Whitney's crush. She gives him another name, and I have called this man that name so much so that I literally don't.
That's the only name you know.
I'm afraid I'm gonna call him like by his name. Can I say it or no? Is it too? I'm scared. Whitney likes to keep everything tight, so I don't want to say anything too crazy.
I'm keeping things under wraps. Okay.
I can say his nickname.
I'm a mysterious girl.
Okay. Go back to Mr. Bombastic then.
Yeah, let's go back to Mr. Bombastic. Okay. Okay. So like the way that I basically incited this date to happen is that I was telling him that I have a podcast, and he was like, "Oh, what's the name of it? I want to check it out." And I was like, "I'm not going to tell you the name of the podcast till we go out on a date first and
promote the pod and get a date."
Exactly. So then he was like, "Oh, okay, let's do this." And I ended up not telling him the name. I just told him what it was about, and I'm glad I didn't tell him the name, because like, here I am talking about him now. I haven't told
any man the name of this. They can fucking find it. They can go on my fucking page.
He knows my full name. Like, he could easily find me on Instagram, and
it's right there. Because we promote the brand.
Exactly. So, sorry if you're listening to this. Anyway.
No, I'm not sorry. You're going to be exposed.
Sorry. I feel bad. Anyway.
Don't. I'm pissed.
Okay. Let me get into it. Let me get into it. So, as I think if you were listening to last week's episode, I was like, I just want like a creative guy. I want someone who like understands what I do, and I don't have to explain it too much.
And Mr. Bombastic just came running at your door.
He did.
You manifested it.
Honestly, he fit most of the criteria. He is also in a creative field, but not in theater. He's with the gays and the girls. He like dresses really well, has great fashion sense, which I just absolutely love. He looks a little gay. If you can't see my hand, for those who are listening, my
hand, just imagine my hand like this.
You know what we're doing.
Perfect.
And he had a very handsome face, which I was worried about, because sometimes in photos you can't tell.
He was handsome.
He was very handsome.
He was handsome.
Like, it's given. I like to say that he looks like the guy from Princess Diaries, the first movie.
Yes, but like hotter. No, hotter.
Yeah. So good for you, sir. But the only thing.
Oh my God.
And we talked about this too, guys. I tried, I should say, to give them a chance. But he is a short king. Not even a medium king. A short king. He is 1 inch taller than me.
Oh, Lord.
And I was like, surely it'll be okay.
Surely.
I made sure, like, I wore my cowboy boots that had just a little bit of a heel.
The smallest of heels.
Yeah. And he was also wearing cowboy boots. That's why it's so sad, because I want to be his friend. If you still want to be my friend,
stop, Whitney.
No, it's fine. I've like ghosted him. I haven't. I mean, and in a nice, like a subtle ghost away. It wasn't just a complete. Like,
ghosting is so fine. I think if you make a big deal out of it, it's weird.
It was like a mutual thing where we're like, okay, we've reached the point where the conversation is done. Anyway, I haven't even got there yet. But yeah, what was I saying? Yes, he's a short king. And so it reached the point of the night where like we were sitting next to each other. And see, this is where the type A thing comes in.
Yes.
Because I always go into it, like I leave a date and I was like, oh, I was fun. I was bringing in the jokes. We were, going back and forth.
The
banter was there. I felt like I was doing my best. And that's the other thing. I had a migraine the entire time. I wore my glasses to the date. Me going to a date, first date wearing glasses is crazy. But I had 2 auditions earlier that day.
And you were unwell.
And I was unwell, and I still went on this date because I was like, I have to get the job.
And I was really unwell. Oh my God, I was really unwell. I just saw you leaving, and I was in this crevice of the couch.
Is that when you were sick?
Yeah. I was like, no, I didn't say anything because I was just like,
we were just both.
I was mute.
Not well. And I still crushed it. You know what I mean?
And I think it's like, you feel like if you're doing all those things, then obviously you need to kiss him because nothing's bad. So it's like, you need to have a kiss.
This is the final check mark of the test. You're
just checking the boxes, girl.
I was. And so it happened. And like, it was fine. But
guys, I have an actual serious question for all of you. Because this happens to Whitney, but like this has never happened to me. Are people like asking to kiss before they kiss? Because like I just don't.
Yeah, he did ask.
I'm so sorry. I've never had a man ask me. They usually are already, their tongue is already down my throat and I can't even actually think.
Well, I don't know if it's because I feel like I also come off like a bit intimidating.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a little softy. Maybe I need to be a little harder.
I mean, you are like, but you know what I mean?
People.
You're giving like petite demure, and I'm giving like, do you know what I mean? And he's also giving petite demure.
Well,
so I feel like he had to ask permission.
It's the bed. It's the pulling to the bed theory. Pulling it to the edge
of the pull to the bed theory.
Guys, there's a theory out there, and we're cultivating it. It's actually a study of mine. I can't believe I'm bringing this up on the pod. Damn. Okay, we're already in it. We're already in it. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. There's a theory out there that if a man can't pull you to the edge of the bed,
it's done.
It's done. If you can't. No, like if you have to sit there and be like, can he? It's done.
I mean, granted, different strokes for different folks.
Literally, yes.
You know what I mean? So live your truth, live your life. If it works for you.
No, but like in this household, like we don't do that. So like, and then I literally asked Whitney when she came back. I was like, could he pull you to the edge of bed? And she looked at me. She nodded her head. No. I was like, oh Lord.
It shook my head. No.
She shook her head like this. Like no.
Yes, yeah, because after the said kiss, he then put his arm around me, but I felt myself making myself shorter.
You shrinked.
I was shrinking into the couch.
You did it
so that he could be taller.
Mm-hmm. You're like, oh my God, I'm so
petite and demure and
I'm demure
and small.
I'm so small. I'm so small. I've actually shrunken.
I'm actually just a little elf now. Not well. Just
oh my God, the elf. The elf. So Whitney's an elf, and this.
Yeah. I was really trying to make him not feel like an elf. Okay.
Oh, that's so uncomfortable.
The thing is, it can also be said that that's an insecurity on me. The fact that I felt that I needed
on you, Whitney,
to make myself feel smaller.
It's always on
because I just felt a little gargantuan. That's him. Even keeping his arm around me was a little hard, and I was just like,
yeah.
Bleh.
So the first kiss happened, and then
we keep talking. Then the migraine got so bad, and I decided to have a drink because I felt like I needed to have a drink because he wanted to get me a drink.
Yeah, and you have to have a drink. Like, you actually have to.
So then I was like, I'm gonna use the restroom. Oh my god, wait, that happened before the kiss, actually.
Oh my god.
I felt so nauseous that I was like, I think I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, Whitney and I have been feeling nauseous lately.
I went to the bathroom. I tried to throw up. I couldn't. Sorry. I just burped a lot. But then I come back and he has to kiss me, which is... And I was like,
well, it's okay. It went out. It went out.
Yeah.
It's probably better that it was out than inside of you.
Yeah, what if he kissed me and I just... Okay.
Burped inside of him? Disgusting. But he deserves it.
Yeah, so that happened. We chatted more. It was fine.
Did you, like, make out with him? Or, like, was it more of, like, a...
I mean, it was not like a...
Why am I making that noise?
That's the other thing. Like, I just... The vibe just wasn't... It wasn't
like,
flowing.
with their tongue?
I didn't know. It was, like, half there, and I was like, sir, where do you want this to go? Where is it meant to be?
Did you put your tongue?
I attempted to. It just...
But you didn't know, and you didn't... Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Let's just close that book.
All I do is I get a text from her.
Well, first I gave you a good...
You gave me like a good...
I did, because I was happy at first. I was happy until I wasn't.
Yeah, like,
until the next day and I looked back on everything.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh wait, I'm doing great. This is going great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you sent me like 3 of the yes emojis that we agreed upon.
I gave an emoji that I was going to give her if everything was going well.
And I was like, just send me this emoji.
But you know what it also was? It's because we were sitting the whole time. And then first off, before we even left, my hair almost caught on fire. And I was like, well, that would happen to me on a date. Because I was like leaning against the wall and there was a candle. And luckily the bartender saw it. He was like, be careful, there's a candle right there. And I was like, oh my God. Because this hair, flammable. So flammable. Up in flames for sure.
That would have been crazy.
I would like,
and then if you start throwing up.
Yeah.
You start throwing up, your hair's on fire. You would really be the Barbie spinning.
God. Anyway, so then he wanted to walk me to the train, which is really sweet. He was very sweet. And I'm just like, oh, you're a good guy, just not my guy. But as I'm walking next to him, I'm like, yeah, like I did, because it was so cold and I was like, normally I would like try and like snuggle up next to them, but like I just didn't feel like he could even keep me warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, needless to say, oh my God, I didn't even get to the part of why we call him bombastic, Mr. Bombastic.
Well, just tell him what he texted you.
Look, okay, so I like to talk about Enneagram numbers. If you guys don't know your Enneagram number, do the test, find out. You will be read to filth of who you are as a person.
Yeah. Get ready to be shown your true colors.
Yeah. And so I attempted to keep the conversation going, and I was like, here, take this quiz, find out your Enneagram number.
We attempts, like, we didn't know, so we had plans for Friday night for this event, the pre-Greek event, for the mistletoe at a bar, and I was gonna have like Whitney come because it was just at a bar, and I was like, oh, you can like maybe have a second attempt with a guy, like it'll be crowded, like you guys can just,
I wanted to give him another chance,
so that was like, the attempt, like we were gonna do that, but then Whitney said to me like, yeah, like I think I'd be okay if I never saw him again. And I was like, oh, okay, so like I don't really know if you like him.
Yeah, that kind of confirmed it.
We realized that you didn't like him.
But as this is all happening, he's texting me, and he's talking about like what he got in his quiz, and like he's like trying to figure out like what exactly his number is, whatever. Yeah. And so he was like reading off these traits that are about a certain number.
Yo, there was paragraphs between them too. I was like, what in the fuck is happening with the paragraphs?
Is a lot.
I can't even get a man to text me, let alone the fucking paragraphs this man was texting you. I was like, Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah. So yeah.
You get them to type those paragraphs.
He decides to say, should I just pull up?
I mean, I might as well. We've already read this man to film.
I'm sorry, sir.
This poor fucking
Let me not accidentally call him. Can you imagine? So he says, I can be fiery, intense, and bombastic in a fun way, and especially sexually.
Okay.
Excuse me? What? First of all,
I remember reading that.
Especially sexually, that crazy. Alone is crazy. Like,
I don't know the bombastic.
Like, I think that was him trying to flirt, but I was like, girl, Girl, what? What are you talking about?
Girl, what you gonna do, girl? Girl, you gonna pull me to the edge of the bed? Because I don't think so.
So then, I'm like, bombastic. That is not.
So I'm over
that
here.
Is not what that means.
Looking up the definition.
What you
looking
think
up
that
synonyms,
means?
Like,
and the synonym to bombastic is like pretentious, pompous. So you're telling me that you are pretentious in the bedroom? So I literally texted him back and I said, bombastic in the bedroom is crazy. And he was like, oh, wait, oh my God, I didn't even realize what that actually meant. Like, I did not mean that. He said, scratch that. And I was just like, oh, I tried to just let it slide. But at that point, that's when I got the ick. And I said,
the ick was,
we're done.
I mean, it would have been a waste of time. So he ended up not coming out to
Yeah,
that.
he couldn't even meet us at the bar. And I was like, that's okay.
It's
and
fine.
then he called me cutie. And I said,
oh, the cutie of it all.
How do you feel about pet names? I just like when people call me babe. That's it.
I think it's just like it just has to feel right. Like I'm
that
not
as
against
well.
it.
Yes.
I'm not against it, but
I'm not like a pookie, a cutie. I'm not unless you're saying it in like a ironic way. Do you know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of things that like past people have called me.
But if you're saying I love you, cutie, in a serious way, no. Or sweetie pie.
Yeah, like the cutie is kind of
like
odd.
we can come up with our own little word of what we call each other. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just not into like the normal stuff, I guess.
Yeah, like I don't know.
But yeah, so that was my journey, and I Kevin, if you're listening to this, Ben, if you happen to be listening to this, I've just decided like
stop that.
It's okay, I know I shouldn't be manifesting this, but if need be, Kevin and Ben, you will be my sperm donors. So yeah.
And that's the official ask.
There's my official request.
Through the podcast.
Through the pod.
That's crazy. Well,
yeah. Yeah. So that guy's gonna make somebody happy, that's for sure.
I think so too. He sounds great.
He's a great guy.
He just like wasn't right for you, but
just, yeah,
I'm so sorry
yeah.
we just read him so hard.
And then
yeah. Girl.
Your adventure?
It goes right into mine, doesn't it? Because it was that Friday night. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Friday night was interesting. I was it was very crowded in that bar.
That bar was terrifying.
I was fighting for my fucking life.
We were sardines in a can in that place.
I was fighting for my life. I got in there immediately, profusely sweating, as if
so hot.
It was so cold and so hot. That's how it is in the city when it's winter. It's like you get to the bar and it is Satan's asshole. And it smelled like it too. I was like fighting for my life. I lost immediately when we get there. I'm like, I have to pee. So we go and I try to scope out, see what we got for tonight. And I don't know. It just was kind of wild. I lost my brother. There's this guy that I feel like has been a viewer and a watcher, and we've been following each other for multiple years, but I've never like actually met him in person. And I met him and I read, okay, like maybe I just need to like really, really make sure that these people are actually into me, because
no. He was into you. Let's be clear about that. He was into you,
guys.
Let me just say, okay. I was at this bar with her. I didn't know anybody.
Yes.
I was scared for my life. I was probably the only black person in there. Maybe. Let's be real. I think I saw one girl and she left as I was entering. There was only one allowed at a time.
And also, there was only one at a time. And also in that section, Whitney, it was a bunch of people that like, and that's the thing, when you're in a Greek event, you're not special. Everyone looks like you. So
everyone did look very similar.
Everyone looks alike. So anyways.
But said man finally looked her way and y'all instantly just went shoop.
Yeah.
And I said, oh God, it's just me. And so I Irish exited. But
yeah, she did Irish exit.
The minute you guys found each other, it was like,
I mean, yeah,
y'all
it was
just
weird, but like it's an
mean?
interesting situation, because I was like, okay, like I didn't know what to expect, but like from the liking of the stories and like the viewing and the like occasional slide in of the DM,
there was an intent there.
Like I thought there was an intent. Like
there was. I'm telling you right now, you're not crazy.
So then we go down. He's like, let's go down to this bar. It's downstairs. There's another bar downstairs. Perfect. We go down. We talk. It's great. Like he's nice. He's actually like a lot friendlier than I thought he would be. In his pictures, it seems like very stoic and like, but he ended up being like really like kind of spunky and fun, like quirky.
Okay, spunk.
Okay, a little spunk. And I thought he was like really great. And then we go up and then I kind of like lose him. And then I start talking to this other guy that I met a couple weeks ago, another Greek. And this man is like coming on to me intensely. And I'm like, oh my God, like maybe I should just like ditch the first guy because I don't really know the intention there and go with this other guy. So I'm going with this other guy. I'm talking to him or whatever. I don't even know. And then I end up linking back to the first guy again. And it was just weird. Like I couldn't get a vibe. I just felt like there was like a lot of people that we both knew. Also, to preface this, he lives in like San Francisco. So like, what is this amounting to? No one knows.
Right. And maybe that could be why it was kind of up in the air as well, because he knew like this isn't something that can be solidified in the near future. Yeah. Because you guys are far apart.
Yeah, it was just kind of like I like thought there was going to be something. I don't know what to expect. Like what was I supposed to expect? And also like maybe my expectations were too high. Like I don't know. And I also didn't feel great. Like my voice was gone. Like it was not good. Anyways, the next day we go to the event. I see him again. It's the same thing. It's like the back and forth. Like, I don't know. Like I felt like he was kind of avoiding me, but then I was like, maybe he's not. Like, I don't really know. But I was like talking to other people and mingling. And then we go to this after party. And then I'm just like, is he going to like make out with me or do anything? Like, I'm just so confused.
This is just Friday night, right?
No, I just went into Saturday.
Oh, you went into Saturday.
It up.
Yes,
wrapping it up because
but then things did happen.
Yeah, so then we go into this like hallway. This bar is like club bar is so weird because it's like this sheet it's like a curtain that is the hallway. It's so odd. And basically he was just like, there's a lot of people around from like where I live, and I don't basically like he's trying not to like look a certain way.
He has to have a good look for his profession.
Yeah, like he works at the church, guys. Okay, so
he just didn't want, because I just want to make it clear that like it's not because he just didn't want anyone that he knows to know who you are. It's just that
yeah. So it was just weird, and then I was like, well, okay. I was like, sure, but in my head, y'all, like, also I'm 4 martinis in. I'm really unwell. Like I should have been put to bed like an hour ago. Okay, I'm like a little past I'm like,
she didn't have the voice of reason there to be with her.
Yeah, I didn't have any girls for me. I had no girls at that point. Like I was dead ass on my own. Like my brother was my only homie, and I was like, Johnny does not care about this. I look over at Johnny. Johnny's eyes are rolled back. He's not going to help anyone. In fact, I'm going to have to help him. So I look over at Johnny's gone. His friends are gone. Literally, I'm like, where is everyone? I'm fighting for my life. I'm just trying to kiss this boy. I'm like, oh my God, like, are we going to kiss or what? So then we're in the curtain thing. He's telling me like, and I was like, okay, well, where are they now?
Where are the people now?
So then I don't really remember much, but we did start making out. But then we kept stopping and kept like looking. Like this man was nervous. It made me nervous. And then I was like, I'm nervous. And then he's nervous. And then someone like came out of the curtain, and then he just like left. So then I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I'm drunk. I have no idea what's happening. So then I let it go. We start like dancing, doing our stuff with our own people. And then he was like dancing with his homies and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool with his boys. And then I noticed that his boys are back, but he's not back. So I'm just like,
where's he at?
Where are you at?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's weird. But then I literally see him, and I see him like, okay, this is so embarrassing.
This is just where it starts to spiral a little, but you were just unwell at that point.
I just like thought that he was like grinding on a girl, and I don't think he was at all, actually. He wasn't at all. He wasn't at all. But in my head, it was so... This is what happens when you get cheated on so many times in your life and you have so many men betray you. But it's really true. It's like enrooted in me that like that's the type of person he is when he probably isn't at all. Mm-hmm. But like in my head, I just felt as if like he was being slimy or just kind of like, we just made out and now he's like dancing with another girl. That's like in my head, that's like what was happening. But like he was like, that's like my friend. And I was just like confused and drunk. And then I was like, okay, it just feels icky, to see that or whatever. I don't really know. I don't really know what I said. Mm-hmm. Like in my head, that's what I was thinking. But I don't know what like came out.
Yeah, you were basically like, I'm done kind of. That's what you told me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And yeah, I don't.
And then I look at Johnny. I'm like, Johnny, Uber.
You were just ready
Johnny's
to leave.
eyes are rolling back. He's like, bodega. I'm like, Uber. Johnny wanted to go to the bodega over here. We went there the night before. Yeah. And I'm just like, Johnny, we got to go. So we get in the car and I'm like fucking pissed in the car. I remember like yelling in the car and then all of a sudden both of us fell asleep. And all of a sudden we were back in Harlem. And I was like, I don't even know what just happened. Smoked some weed, went to bed, woke up. I was in pain. My liver, my body was recoiling. Sorry. I was just really hungover. And I ended up texting him and like apologizing just because I felt like weird. And then he kind of didn't reply. He replied.
And then he was weird. And then he went back. Let us know what you guys think about this. He saw her story, didn't do anything about it. Then you texted him, and then he went back to her story and liked the photo.
Yeah. But he hasn't like liked anything this week. Like I think he probably thinks I'm crazy, and that's fine.
But
I thought he was really cute and really nice, and like it could have been something, but like I don't know. If he's gonna be scared of like what I just did there, then I guess whatever.
It's fine.
So that's really it. Like we both had a little smooch of some sorts under the mistletoe.
Yep. And that's the other thing. It's our year. Well, no, I don't think you kissed anyone last year, but I guess it's my yearly thing to get kissed.
I didn't kiss anyone last year.
It was on the exact same day, or maybe the day before, that I was kissed this year and last year.
Sorry.
So what will next December 4th bring? What will next Greek mistletoe gala bring for us?
I'm not going again.
Let's find a different one to go to.
Don't make me go.
I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere else.
I hate it though. It makes me feel so like icky, like I did something wrong. But even debriefing it now, I still feel like
you live and you learn.
Like I might have made a mistake, but I did apologize. I never apologize.
Yeah.
I usually just like whatever, but like I apologize because I kind of was in the wrong. But
it's fine. But I think that's it, right?
It is what
for
it is.
The updates on life.
That's it. Should we get into some?
Let's get into some reality TV.
Yeah, let's talk about the ultimatum because I'm really fresh off of that.
Girl,
the ultimatum: marry or move on.
I have some shit to say.
So people who don't know this, because I genuinely did not know what the show was. It's another Nick and Vanessa Lachey production. Okay, the fucking therapist of Netflix. They have couples that come in. One of the members of the couple issues an ultimatum to the other,
and the ultimatum is marry me or we're done.
Or we're done.
Because for whatever reason, the other person is just not ready for that sort of commitment, but the one issuing the ultimatum is. And the way that it works is that it's like maybe 8 couples.
Yeah,
I think it's 8 couples. They all come together. They've issued this ultimatum, and basically, from the group of people, they will partner up with someone new and have a trial marriage
is what they call it,
with this new person for 3 weeks, and then go back to their original partner and have a trial marriage with them for 3 weeks, and from that they will decide if they're ready for marriage.
Interesting
or not.
Concept.
And yeah, the fact that anyone would agree to this is crazy.
All of them need to break up.
Because you're basically just letting your partner have a hall pass to be with somebody else, unless you actually have some self-restraint and control and respect for your partner, and you won't go too deep, too far with these people, and actually just use it as a way to figure out what you need to change about yourself to make yourself a better partner.
It was definitely really interesting. We had like varying couples. I think like the most controversial couple was JR and Sandy. This is they weren't original couples, so
let's just say the original couples real quick.
So
we
Sandy was with Nick.
Sandy and Nick. We had and Nick issued the ultimatum. Then we had Aria and Scotty. Scotty issued the ultimatum to her.
And all the other one was girls to the guys. Because those are the only 2 guys.
Yeah, those are the only 2 guys that issued the ultimatum. And I guess I'll say like Nick and Sandy, they have a big age gap. It's like she's 27 and he's 38.
38.
And so she's like still in her like sort of party phase, like not ready to settle down type thing. And he's like, I'm ready to be married. Scotty and Aria, they like don't even live together. she's like thriving in her career, so she's like, it doesn't make sense for me to move in with him right now, but he's like ready for marriage for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then we have JR and Zaina. Zaina issued ultimatums to JR. Honestly, I don't even know what the exact issue is besides JR's. Oh, JR was cheated on, so he's just like jaded about marriage, basically.
Yeah, and he's probably cheating on everyone.
Yeah.
Also, JR's
we'll get into
beautiful.
that.
Sorry, I was in love with
I don't
him.
know what JR.
Put a picture up so they know.
Oh no, the couples are up on the screen. Don't you worry.
Yo, he's so fine. Be
enough.
So for real. Be so for
He's
real.
not fine. He's just got a nice body.
Exactly.
So then we have Mariah and Caleb. Mariah issued the ultimatum to Caleb. Mariah is just like very invested, but it seems like Caleb is kind of like wishy-washy about everything.
It seems like Caleb is literally high as fuck this whole time.
Yeah, I'm like, Caleb, are you well? Like, blink twice if you can.
Then there was 2 couples that literally leave within like the 3rd episode,
which is crazy.
Which is so weird.
Dave and Vanessa, and the other 2, I really don't remember their names.
I forgot their names. DoorDash. Mr.
We
DoorDash.
call her DoorDash because she worked at DoorDash.
She worked at DoorDash.
Chanel and Micah.
Yeah, sure.
They were the last couple. So, yeah,
they was all just like mingle. They
all
like
get to mingle with each other and see who they like and who they would want to be partnered up with. And so it ends up that JR and Sandy get together.
Mm-hmm.
Zaina goes with Scotty. Arya goes with Caleb. Nick goes with Vanessa. Mariah goes with, I forgot his name again, Micah. Oh, and Dave goes with Chanel. And so then, like,
but they do this in a weird fashion. They actually do it like,
yes,
if you watch this, you'll know that they do this like at a conference table and then
a dining table. Actually, it's all set up like they're about to have a family roast.
Yeah, it's so weird. And then they like go around and they
basically kind of propose in a way.
Yeah, they like propose and they basically like, yeah, they
say everything that's so great about this new person.
The other new person. And
like,
they partner off.
Yeah.
And they break up with their person. Well, they already broke up, but yeah.
They're like broken up with their old people, whatever. You know what we're trying to say.
So crazy.
It's so crazy. I feel like I had stuff to say about the original couples. Let me just speed through to see if there's anything that was necessary to mention.
I have one thing to say while you're finding things.
What's that?
So Nick and Sandy, they were the couple that we've been talking about with the age gap. Sandy and JR pair off, and then Nick pairs off with Vanessa. So Nick and Vanessa had a really great like start to the relationship, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like they're gonna actually get along. Because JR and Sandy were like getting along so well. So I was like, oh my god, these 2 couples like actually seem that they could have a romantic relationship. All the other couples, I didn't.
It was giving very friend zone-y.
It was giving friend zone, but like you still learned something from that experience. But it was giving friend zone.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what kind of leads into 2 of the couples leaving is because Vanessa's actual partner Dave is coupled up with Chanel, and that's very friend zoned. And then Chanel's partner Micah is coupled up with Mariah, and that's super awkward friend zoney. And I think, and you see a clip of Chanel and Micah. They like in the middle of the night leave their rooms, and it's obvious that they're going to meet up with each other to talk, and they don't get back until like 8 a.m. the next day.
Yeah.
And so then the following night, you just see them packing up their stuff.
Yep.
And they leave, and it's
all 4 of them.
All 4 of them. It's Dave and Vanessa leave, and Chanel and Micah leave. And so it's obvious that like Chanel and Micah talked to each other, and they were like, this is not it. This is like awkward. Yeah. I don't want to be here with these people. And so then they spoke to their partners. Well, actually, no, I don't think Dave spoke to Mariah, but Chanel spoke to Dave because they had an awkward coupling too. And so then Dave reached out to his partner, Vanessa. And so they just all came to an agreement, I think, that like...
And they basically left.
We should just leave and not even try this because I don't know if it's worth it. But the only thing is that I think Vanessa actually would have wanted to stay.
Yeah, like I said, I think...
With Nick.
Nick and Vanessa would have been well suited for each other.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate.
But then it messes up Sandy and JR because Sandy basically is like, well, he was vibing with someone and I'm vibing with someone. Now I'm just vibing with someone and now he's like alone. And that's when we kind of see the downfall of Nick. Like he has like a manic episode and like freaks out as he should.
Yeah.
Like that building would have been burnt Damn.
I mean, even because like when they're first mingling and still trying to like get to know each other, like JR and Sandy are already touching each other, being super flirty, and it's crazy. And I'm just like, bruh, do y'all like Sandy tries to be like, oh my God, you're the one that brought me into this experiment and I'm just doing like what I'm told and you're making me feel bad. But it's like Nick is literally by himself now because both Nick and Mariah, who their new partners left them, they decided to stay in the experiment and just like be like friends who are there for each other every once in a while. But like they don't have anyone to like try and test this out with. So like, of course Nick is going to spiral. He's like sitting there alone. And he says later on in the episodes that like they live right above him. They've lived one floor above him. Yeah. And he has to know that he is all up on her, cuddling her, kissing her, because he finds out that she kissed him. Like, if that were me, the whole place would be shut down. Like, JR would not he would not be here. I would be in prison. Because
everyone would be in prison. And someone would be dead.
So I do not blame this man for going cuckoo crazy and spiraling because he's sitting there on his own just wondering day in and day out what they're doing together.
Yeah.
And it's not fair to him. And she has the nerve to like take the victim card and be crying and being like, I just don't know what to do. He like won't leave me alone. He keeps texting and calling me. Like, girlfriend, you're literally like, those two were playing house the entire time that they were together.
House.
JR was calling her his wife. He did not mention his actual partner Zaina like once.
Like barely.
Zaina who? It was insane.
But Zaina.
Meanwhile, Zaina
was with crazy ass Scotty.
She's with Scotty.
Guys,
and this man, the moment
this man is crazy.
The moment I knew that he had an issue was before they hadn't even coupled up yet. They're like talking to the different people. Scotty is talking to Zaina, getting to know her, and like they start like, I think like holding hands or something in front of his actual girlfriend Aria. And Aria gets a bit upset about that, having to see all that happen in front of her. And so she's off crying, and then she like wants to have a conversation with him. And she's just like, do you not realize how like that can affect me or whatever? And somehow he turns it onto her and makes it seem like she's the bad guy for some reason, as she is sobbing to him. And he rose his voice. He started to raise his voice. There we go. And I was like, no.
He yelled.
No.
Guys, his voice.
The moment he raised that voice, I said, canceled. Done. Do not start yelling at me in a public place when I am sobbing and just need a moment.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No. So that's when I knew big red flag. Something's wrong with that man.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, it was just kind of like weird behavior.
Yes. And so fast forward to him being with Zaina. At first, they're great. He's like, oh my God, this is working out so well. Like, I love everything about you. I love how we like work together, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh, wait, do they actually like each other? But I'm sorry. This man, that's the other thing we need to talk about with these men. How the hell did these men get these beautiful women? The women on this show, stunning. All of them. Beautiful. The men?
Ugly.
Crawled from the depths of the earth.
Except JR. Ugly.
JR came from a trash can, but the rest of them came from the depths of the earth.
Yeah.
Caleb is pretty cute, but I'm mostly just talking about Scotty. I'm talking about you, sir.
Honestly, Scotty, it's you.
Nick looks like he's been crawling, like he's been trudging through swamps and rivers and mountains and valleys.
Nick aged like 20
even
years
more
with these
during
episodes.
This 3 weeks.
Oh my God. He aged so much he got the wrong tattooed on him.
Oh my God, that was insane.
It was crazy.
My God. Yeah, he got a tattoo while he was spiraling, and it ended up being the same phrase that JR has tattooed on his hands, which is absolutely insane. Poor guy. But anyway, back to Scotty. Madness. Fucking crazy ass Scotty. So they're like good at first, everything's fine. Then the guys get together and have like a night together, and the girls get together and have a night together, and they sort of talk about like how things are going with everybody. And JR is like, I heard that you, Scotty, were talking shit about me and saying that this is like a hall pass for me. Which, I'm sorry, JR, but it is a hall pass for you. You are loving this. You are loving the fact that you get to make out with another woman and get to say, oh, it's fine because we were broken up. Man, fires me up.
It's like everything that they say is just crazy. Like you watch it and you're just like, your mouth is open the whole time.
I could never do this. I would literally be throwing hands. So
like out of all the reality TV shows that we
watch, this is probably the worst one.
This is the one that I could just, I would never do.
Like this is truly like someone doing a full science experiment.
That's like
and
literally
just
my personal hell. Like that's my personal hell.
Yeah. So, Scotty's like, why are you accusing me of this? I didn't say shit. And so then he decides to take this whole situation out on Zaina when he gets back home. And he's like, he won't actually say the words. He's just like insinuating like, you must have been the one that told JR that I'm talking shit about him.
That was a wrap for me.
But the way that he was doing it was so condescending.
Yep.
God, I wish I could remember exactly what he asked her.
It's just like the way, it's so weird because it's he was like, he thinks about something and it's the way he thinks and then he projects it on the other person. It's like, yeah, like the best way to say
his actual issues, he'll say that those issues are the partner's problem.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing this, but it's like, no, she's not doing that. You are, sir.
You are doing it.
You are the one that are having these issues. And like,
we see these women just like, and the women are going crazy.
What the fuck? Like, are you well?
Yeah, because they're like defending themselves still, but you can tell that they have some like hesitancy towards it because they're just like, wait, because he's so convincing. Like it's literally like we obviously see it so clearly because we're just watching.
Yes, but it's like for narcissist 101. Like he is a full narcissist.
Yes,
and thinks that he is his way is the right way. Like he does not handle ever being the one in the wrong. Mm-hmm. Like it's crazy, and he doesn't know how to like resolve conflict. Luckily, Zaina was able to like de-escalate him, but
except
the way that it happened was just crazy. And
yeah, because they like got through that fight, and then like the last night they had a fight, and she basically was like, "All right, I'm leaving."
He was basically insinuating that she has been texting JR, and
Zaina's like I've been
girl,
texting
what are you talking about?
JR is all over Sandy, so I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, well, Lord, and I'm just like, if all these girls need to run away from Scotty, and Scotty needs to be sent into therapy immediately. Because Oh, and the other situation that happened with Scotty and Zaina, they were like, oh, we should go do something fun together. And he was like, oh, would you want to like go on a hot air balloon?
Oh my God.
And she's like, oh, I don't know about that because like heights and things like that. And he was like, oh, okay. What about cryotherapy? The switch from hot air balloon to cryotherapy is crazy.
So weird.
First of all.
Like bowling, rollerblading.
Like, I don't really like to be in like the cold like that either. Like I don't like cold weather.
Like, that's not a date activity.
And he was like, oh, so like you don't like anything that I suggest? Like what's wrong with you? Like I'm just trying to do something fun. And she's like, well, that's just not my version of fun. And he got so upset with her for no reason.
That was like the first fight.
That was
so
like
stupid.
Red Flag City. That's when you should have known, girlfriend.
That was Red Flag City.
Yeah. Oh, that man, I literally, if I could punch him, I would. I'll say it right now.
Him. He's like one of the worst reality TV
awful.
people that we've seen this year.
I just don't know if they're going to do a reunion, but they need to. I need them all to look at what happened for real and get into it.
Every time there's a reunion, though, I feel like it's just never
it's too tame. But I'm like, y'all, I would have so much shit to say.
Like the Real Housewives reunions are always so fiery. Like that's what we need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like Scotty gets back with Aria. I'm just gonna go into that, and Aria honestly had like a good time with her partner Caleb. They were both like very chill people, and I think because Scotty is so like manic, fiery, and just like my way or the highway, and Caleb was very much like everything's good, like nonchalant. And she's like, oh, this is what it's like when my opinion actually gets to be heard. Like I don't get to do that often. Yeah. And then she gets back with Scotty, and Scotty just instantly starts making her feel like shit again.
And there's just no way.
Projecting his issues onto her, acting like you never know how to like take any answer but your own. Like he's basically saying like his issue where he doesn't know how to freaking hear other people's opinions. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. And she was falling for it, which is the crazy part.
It's crazy. But it's funny because like you see them get back together with their like partners that they came back with, and you just kind of see the toxic behavior in front of, like you just see it happen. Like you can tell that they like are just in this relationship and they're all just trying to make it work, but all of them are just really not right for each other. Like no one is right for each other.
No one.
Like we thought Caleb and Mariah, but then we're like, no, because they just like don't like each other.
No.
Like no one is compatible, and that's okay.
Yeah. And like
not even JR and Sandy, like not even another couple, like not even the trial marriages.
Like JR and Sandy could work for a fun time, but not for a long time.
Not for a long time.
But JR is actually also cuckoo crazy.
Yeah.
Because the way that he wanted to freaking have sex with that girl so bad. First of all, I got the ick when they were bowling, and they were like, if I win, you have to wear my t-shirt and nothing else. I was like, ew. Ugh. Like,
I hate him. And then they were like not gonna tell their partners that they kissed each other. Like the whole thing was weird.
And like that's the other thing. Nick is spiraling, and he ends up going to their apartment and is like, "Can I speak to Sandy?" And JR answers the door, and he was like,
"Get away! You don't know her.
You don't know her," and slams the door on him. I was like,
that's literally
the minute that happened.
I know.
My fist is in your face.
I think Nick freaking out is so fine. Like the whole thing is fine.
That's so normal. Like, granted, he is a bit like he was doing too much, and like this, it's kind of giving like last ditch effort. Like, oh shit, I realized everything that I've been doing wrong, and I want to get you back. And it's just like a little. They're
not meant for each other, but like
a little too late.
Yeah,
you know. But poor guy. Like, you could not make me hate this man because he didn't deserve all that. And Sandy's just. I'm the victim. I can't believe this.
It's really cringe. But it is actually such good TV. So, like, literally,
it is
watch it to be so fucking entertained.
But yeah, so, like, Sandy and JR kissed, like, 3 times. They're saying twice, but the camera showed them kiss 3 separate times.
Probably more. They had sex.
And definitely more. And they probably did more than that.
Yeah,
but they just aren't saying it. But, so, Sandy and Nick get back together. They're a couple or whatever. And I don't remember how, but I think they have a all big reunion again with each other. Like, they're all hanging out. And I think Nick learns there that there was another kiss that happened. Oh, yeah. Because Nick spoke to Zaina, and Zaina told him they kissed twice. And he was like, wait, twice? And so then they get back home, and Sandy's basically like, I was going to tell you about the other kiss once filming Wrapped. Which is crazy.
She was like, so when we were technically supposed to be engaged?
Like, you're going to tell me that you were kissing a man more than once after I put a ring on your finger? No. And so I hope that made him get back to reality, put the feet back on the grass, and realize you do not need to marry this girl.
I don't think he will. He's lost. And they all are.
They are all lost.
There's one more episode, and then hopefully there's going to be a reunion.
I think there's 2. I saw like
it's a 2-parter.
2, yeah, I think something like that.
So it's like a 2-parter where essentially it's the ultimatum day. So we're going to see the final result of these trial marriages.
Yeah, and I guess we didn't really talk about Caleb and Mariah.
It's fine,
but like Mariah's just worried that Caleb had like an actual romantic connection with Arya. Yeah. I think Arya was romantic, like started to fall for Caleb, but Caleb was just kind of nonchalant.
Caleb was high.
I think Caleb, like, because he did at one point say that he had an emotional connection with her, not just a friendship connection. But then he started to deny it and take it back.
I don't really know.
I don't know what's happening with him. He's so wishy-washy, and that's like the issue with him and Mariah. Mariah's like, I just want like concrete answers of like what's going on. Like, how can you treat me well? Yeah. And he's not really giving her anything. Mm-hmm. And honestly, that would annoy the shit out of me, and I wouldn't want to be with him. Like, he's cute, but
no.
Open your eyes, Caleb. They're half mass every day.
High as fuck.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to know what's gonna happen. It kind of ended on a cliffhanger where like Sandy's meeting up with JR. So.
We'll see.
I don't know, but I can tell you right now, those men are trash.
No one's going to end up together, I hope.
None of them needs to be together. None of them. Everyone, Arya, run away from Scotty, please.
Please that man run away. Scotty is sorry.
That man is a fucking narcissist.
We hate that man.
I hate that man so much. Cut your beard. Trim your curls.
Cut your beard. Cut your face.
Whoa.
We need Sweeney Todd up in this. Sweeney Todd would do you up right, Scotty.
That's that about the ultimatum, you know. And Nick and Vanessa, they giving out their therapy advice. I don't know what's going on with them.
The Lachey's need to be so canceled for this whole episode or this season or this whole show. They're canceled.
Crazy. Okay, and I just want to give a little update on Love Island Australia. If you guys aren't watching, you should watch it. It's only like 30 episodes.
It's not bad. It gets good in the middle.
Yes. It's very interesting. They did like a different spin on Casa Amor. It's not Casa Amor. Mm-hmm. It's Hotel Amore. And they don't have any like new bombshells come in. They basically just have like the fans vote on who they think everyone should be coupled up with. And all the new couples go and spend a night in a hotel without anyone else around. Like they each have their own hotel, and it's kind of up to them like what they decide to do. And then two people that knew each other from the outside, they get coupled up together, and like obviously they have a history with each other, but they have good relationships with the people that they were previously coupled up with, and they decide to get intimate. Intimate. I'm saying the word too much. It's not becoming a word anymore.
Intimate.
And it's interesting because basically they come back and they tell their partners, yeah, we kissed, and that's it. But the sounds that came from their microphone said otherwise. And then movie night comes up, and the guy Zane, it was Zane and God, I can't remember her name right now. Zane and Sophie. They got coupled up together. Yeah. Their original partner, Sophie, was with Dylan.
But didn't Zane, like Zane right when they came back, Zane was like, yeah, I don't like you.
Well, Zane was with a girl named Kayla.
Oh, that's right.
And so once Zane and Sophie get together, they're like, oh, wait, I think we should actually couple up. Because they come back to Hotel Amore and decide if they want to stick with their original partner or be with the new one that they got coupled up with. And so Sophie's going into this thinking that he's going to choose her to couple up. Zane's going to choose her. Yep. And she's like, okay, let's give this a shot. And then, but the way that they did it was kind of crazy because like basically each person stood up there each person stood up by themselves. So Kayla was standing up there and they were like, does anyone want to couple up with Kayla? Stand up now if you do. And so I think Zane felt bad just leaving her standing there on her own. So he just ended up coupling back up with her. And then immediately after that, he tells her like, I don't want to be with you. I don't think I see a romantic connection anymore.
Crazy.
But he still doesn't want to be with Sophie either. Because Sophie's basically like,
send him to jail.
And Sophie's like, if like we didn't have a history at all, would you like even want to be with me? And he was like, no.
Yeah.
He's such a fuckboy. Like he does not know what he wants at all. He's not ready for a relationship.
It's wild.
So that all happens. And then there's movie night. And so the receipts are going to come out. And so Zane goes up to Dylan, Sophie's partner that she recoupled back up with. And he's like, hey, just so you know, we did everything but sex. Like, and he's like, oh, that's more than what Sophie told me, because Sophie just said like we got a little handsy, but no, they did everything but that.
They did everything.
And I was surprised that movie night they like showed a clip of them like kissing, but they didn't show, because at least on TV they showed us like the sounds that were going on, because they like went up to the roof to look at the stars, and then you hear them making out, and then you hear some other stuff happen, and you're like, oh, this is more than just making out. But they didn't air that on movie night, and I'm like, that would have been your answer.
That would have been.
But I think they did that because then Dylan is like, you're gonna tell me what else happened, like to Sophie, and she's like, what do you mean? I told you everything. And she's like, and he's like, but you sucked his dick, basically. And everyone's like, oh, you know what I mean? And it was crazy. And like,
it's so good. Movie night is so good.
I freaking love movie night.
It's so iconic.
Ugh. Anyway, so that whole situation was crazy, and it kind of just made it. And the other thing is, Dylan has the nerve to be like, oh, girls can only sleep with like 10 guys or less, and he slept with like 50 girls. And it's like the double standard of it all. And plus he's kind of slut shaming her for like doing everything with Zane that she did. It's like, guess what? She's allowed to do that. Like
that's crazy.
I mean, she shouldn't have lied about it, because he was basically like, if he had told me that you did all that, I would have been fine. It's just the fact that you retracted the information. So that was a hot mess couple to begin with. But the other situation that I was really heated on, for those who know, Team M, I don't know the rest of their names.
Perfect.
Give me a second. Team M, Mimi, and Sophie. I love that girl group. They are so freaking real.
They're like the PPG.
They are the PPG of Australia, truly.
The PPG of Australia. I love them.
M was with this guy Taylor. He turned out to be a fucking narcissist too.
And he's like, it's so funny. The girls are always just so iconic on this show.
M is so cool. I love M. I love her fashion. I love her style. I love her
she's
everything.
Different.
Yeah, she's so different from like what you would normally see on Love Island. But then the girl that you would normally see on Love Island, Hannah, full of lip filler, full of extensions, full of everything fake.
But she's full of
She
love.
basically steals M's man and has the nerve to act like she's like didn't do anything wrong.
She's crazy, that girl.
Yeah. And
wait, Sophie. Why do I get their names mixed up?
Because they're both blonde.
Because they're both blonde.
Yeah. And so basically Hannah is on the outskirts with Kayla while the other PPG part 2 are like very like tight. And Hannah and Kayla try to go up to the makeup room to talk to them, and they're like, "Hey, we feel left out."
That was so weird.
And they were like, "Oh,
well, come down."
Well,
I don't know.
I'm talking about your man right now, so I don't want you to be. That's basically what they said.
And then they had the heart to heart, and then
they all talk to each other, and they're basically like, "Look, we would never be friends on the outside. So like, I'm gonna be cordial to you, but like, we are not gonna be BFFs in this house." And I love them for that. They were so real about that. Oh,
iconic.
But yeah, so I'm so team PPG and so not team Hannah. Kayla's kind of iffy. I don't really care for her. She's fine. But Hannah, I'm sorry. What's going on in that brain?
Canceled.
Hannah and Taylor, cancel them both. Canceled. He acts like he's so high and mighty. Like same thing as Scotty. They can go hang out together because they're awful. But it doesn't matter because spoiler for anyone who's not there yet. The final 3 are M and Mercedes. Woo. Hannah and Taylor got dumped. I'm so upset though. Steph and Mimi got dumped because they had to vote who was here for clout, and that couple got dumped. And they just said it because Steph has been on Love Island like 3 times, but they actually were a really good couple. I love Steph and Mimi. Steph is kind of a bit of an idiot. Because there's this whole thing about him cheating, but it's fine.
I love him.
Yeah, R.I.P. to them. But it's, M, Kayla and her new guy, and... Oh, yeah, forgot the Greeks.
The Greeks.
The Greek
they've
couple.
Been, like, on the...
They were on the outskirts the whole time. They're like, I don't want to be in this drama.
Yeah, they even tried to, like, ask her. They're like, come in.
Yeah, because...
The conversation.
I should know Greek girl's name. Greek girl was like, I'm staying out of this. Y'all girls talk to each other.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not in this.
I love that.
I loved it too.
But yeah, you guys should watch Love Island Australia because it's full of a good juicy time.
It is. Some other like news, some Bravo things. Vanderpump. James Kennedy.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Do you know what it is for?
Hearsay.
Oh, it's just hearsay? It's not official?
No, it is official now.
Oh, okay.
It was hearsay, but it is official. The papers are released.
Damn.
On Breaking Bravo. On the Instagram.
Is it with that girl?
I don't know. There's been some, he assaulted a woman, which is so funny because he was acting so high and mighty at that reunion, talking about Tom Sandoval being like such an asshole when literally he's doing that. It's disgusting. James Kennedy was always weird and like never treated women with respect. So it's like not shocking, but it is really sad. So that's some tea. James Kennedy's kind of like irrelevant now. Like all he does is like DJ appearances. Like that's really it.
Yeah. But also
Vanderpump Rules is like no more. They're basically like
they're recasting the whole thing.
Yeah, they're just recasting the whole thing, which is just like kind of stupid. But also like they have Vanderpump Villa. Like there's other things happening that I feel like
on Vanderpump Villa.
I think Stassi's like coming back to do that.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, is it really dead?
So they're still going to be there, and some people are going to be there in a new fashion. But I think that original group needed to be washed anyway, because the Scandival of it all.
Scandival like literally ruined it. Like it also, let's not like pretend that the show was dying.
It was definitely dying.
It was literally dying, and then Scandival like literally opened it back up.
Yeah, but that
end of an era.
We have to talk about, because next week we want to do our top 5 reality TV moments. Yeah. And you know what? I don't know much about it, but Scandival is definitely a top moment of reality TV for this year.
Oh, well, that happened a long time ago.
It wasn't this past year?
Scandival?
Yeah.
No, it happened a while ago. Happened like a while ago.
But I feel like everyone has been talking about it this year.
It's people still talk about it.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I do remember because like Ariana was on Dancing with the Stars last season, but it's like carried over still.
It's still something I like. It's just alarming that it happened. Like it'll always be one of those moments.
Yeah.
Like probably one of the craziest moments in reality TV history in general.
Mm-hmm. She's up there.
We're going to be talking about the top 5, I guess the top 5 of this year. which is gonna be fun to break down because I can think of a couple offhand. I might have to like go back to the shows that we watched this season, but I'm sure they'll come up. But like,
it'll happen.
It'll happen.
Wow, can you believe we're at the end of the year? That's crazy. It flew by.
It's our version of Spotify Wrapped.
Our version, yes.
For the next episode.
Wow, what a time.
What a time.
Is there anything else to add?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
All right, guys, you know what to do. Share, like, subscribe, follow, talk about it, be the pod.
Comment. Leave us a comment down below.
Yep. If you made it this far. And if you did,
if you love
you're
us.
so real for that.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.